Hi everybody, so today I'm going to share with you some of my tips and tricks on how to grow your hair longer and how to grow it faster. And the reason that I'm doing this video is because about a couple of years ago I got my hair all cut off really short into a bob. I got an asymmetric bob, so it was really short at the nape of my neck here, and then obviously it came out longer at the front. And my hair was really long before I got it cut, and I just wanted a change, you know how you do, and I got it all cut off despite my hairdresser trying to talk me out of it, but I got it cut off anyway, and I liked it for a couple of months, and then I just wanted my long hair back. So I was on YouTube, I was looking for all different tips and tricks on how to grow my hair long, and some worked for me, some didn't, and some I've picked up by myself along the way, and I just thought that I would share them with you today for any of you that are wanting to grow your hair long. So firstly, I'll show you how much my hair has actually grown since then. I got my hair cut into a bob, like I said, in 2011, and it was summer 2011, so 3 years. And this is how long it's grown in those 3 years. It's down to my waist now, as you can see, and I really want to get it down to sort of like, here. So it hasn't actually got that far to go. I've got quite a lot to talk about. So firstly, I'm going to share some tips and tricks on how to actually get your hair to grow faster, and secondly, I'm going to move on to how to prevent breakage, because that is the main thing when trying to grow your hair long. Firstly, I'm going to start with the thing you really don't want to hear if you want to grow your hair long, and yes, I'm sorry, you do need to go and get a trim. If you have split ends and your hair is not healthy at the ends, it's not going to grow, and therefore you do need to get a trim. If your hair's healthy, then it's absolutely fine, just leave it. But once you've got all those dead ends off, then your hair can actually start to grow. The thing is, when you have split ends, they'll just keep on splitting and splitting, and so your hair never actually grows, because your hair grows from the roots, obviously, and if it's splitting from the bottom and it's getting shorter and shorter from the bottom, it's going to end up the same length and it's going to appear like it never grows. So all those people who say, my hair never grows, it's probably because your ends need a trim. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to talk about supplements that you can take to make your hair grow faster, and I took a couple of different ones. There are so many supplements that you can take, but I found that the ones that worked best for me were folic acid, which is supposed to help your cells renew themselves, and obviously that helps with growth. I also took biotin, which was absolutely amazing. That was the one that I would recommend more than anything. It really helped my hair to grow faster. I actually took pictures of my hair month by month as it was growing when it was really short, which I've lost now, otherwise I would have shown you, because you could really see the difference. And I took those for about 6 months, and then I stopped, because it not only makes the hair on your head grow faster, it actually makes the hair everywhere else grow faster as well, and I was just sick of shaving all the time. But if you don't mind the side effects, then it is an absolutely great way to get your hair to grow a little bit faster. Another supplement that I took was just an everyday multivitamin, and they help on all levels with lots of different things, as long as you're taking the ones with the right amount of vitamins in, with 100% of what you're supposed to have every day, because I know a lot of multivitamins have ridiculous amounts in, some of which your body is just going to flush out anyway, so you're paying for nothing really, and others of which can actually deplete other vitamin stores in your body. So I wouldn't recommend any multivitamin that has a really high concentration of vitamins in, but ones that have 100% of your recommended daily allowance are great, I find. A product that I actually use to help with hair growth, and this is to help with growing new hair, so if your hair's a bit thin, this really helps, and it is Alpecin caffeine shampoo. This is for men. They do a ladies one, I've forgotten what it's called, but I just prefer the men's one, to be honest. This is amazing. You can buy it anywhere really. It ranges between £5 and £7 I find in different stores, but I started using this and I thought, oh, my hair feels a bit thicker and a bit nicer. And I wasn't sure if it was just in my head, because I was trying to grow my hair out at the time, so I was a bit dubious. And my mum also uses this, and she went to the hairdressers about a month after starting to use this, and her hairdresser knew nothing about it. But she said to my mum, "You've got lots of new hair growth," and my mum was like, "It's obviously the Alpecin." This is supposed to stimulate your scalp to make new hair. Make new hair, that doesn't really sound right, but yeah, you know what I mean. So yeah, would definitely recommend this. Another way to stimulate your scalp is actually just to tip your head upside down and massage the roots like this, and I do this once or twice a week, and it's relaxing if nothing else, but I do think that it might actually make a difference. And I have 2 more points left on how to actually make your hair grow faster. And number 1 is eat healthily, because obviously your hair needs vitamins and nutrients to grow. Also, lots of water. Your hair needs water, it needs moisture. Your body is made up of 70% water, so obviously to keep cells functioning properly, to keep growth happening, you need to drink your water. If you don't actually like the taste of water, I find a good thing to do is just to mix it with a bit of fruit squash, but obviously one with no added sugar. My last point on how to make your hair grow faster is to exercise, and I've gone in and out of this in phases, but it just helps with blood circulation. That's what the massage does as well. It just helps with circulation, which helps to stimulate growth as well. Okay, now on to how to prevent breakage. First thing, no heat. No heat whatsoever. And I know you're thinking, oh my god, what am I going to do without my hair straighteners? But honestly, I was the same. I used to straighten my hair every single day, and I have straightened it today just for the purposes of this video to actually show you how long it is, because I have naturally curly hair and you just can't tell when it's curly. But I don't know why I just did that, that's so weird. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. I rarely use heat on my hair. I usually let it dry naturally, or I will use rollers. This is the 3rd time this year I have actually straightened my hair. I really don't do it that often, and I actually don't like the way my hair looks as much when it's straight, but straighteners and curling tongs really damage your hair. I mean, it goes without saying, doesn't it? So when I was in the process of growing my hair when it was really short until it got to probably about here, I just used to let it dry naturally all the time. I was so scared of actually using any heat on it at all because I hadn't for so long, and it helped so much. If there's one thing you do to grow your hair long, just stop using heat, because it works. I mean, you don't need me to tell you that heat is just bad for your hair, full stop. And there's plenty of ways to make your hair look nice when it's drying naturally. You can use a salt spray to make it tousled. You can just kind of put it in plaits. You can even just go like this, I don't know what this is called, but just go like this while it's wet and it'll dry kind of nice and tussly, and I used to do that quite a lot. Now I'm a bit lazy, and if it's drying naturally I will just completely leave it. I might scrunch it a little bit, but other than that I'll just leave it. If your hair is mid-length and you really can't bear the thought of not using heat on it, rollers are a good way to go. I use rollers quite often. When you see my hair in my videos, when it's kind of bouncy and a little bit curly, I've used rollers on it. What I do is I just dry my hair on a low setting with a hairdryer until it's nearly dry, and then I will put my rollers in and just leave it for a few hours, and then when I take it out, my hair is lovely and curly, and it's using minimal heat. Another thing that I will say is don't be fooled into getting your hair cut too often. I know that people say that you need your hair cut every 2 or 3 months, and yes, that's fine, you do, if you want your hair to be the same length all the time. If you're trying to grow it, it's going to take a lot longer if you're cutting it every 3 months. And hopefully by taking these steps and making sure that your hair is actually healthy, you won't need it cut as much. So I actually only trim my hair about every 5 or 6 months, and I know that people are going to be like, what? But yeah, I only get it cut that often. Another thing that you can do is just look through your hair every week, just kind of go through your hair and see if you can see any individual split ends and just snip those. But do make sure that you're using proper hair scissors to cut your hair and not nail scissors or any other type of scissors, because those can actually snag the ends of your hair because they're not sharp enough. You can buy proper hair scissors at any drugstore really, and they're between £5 and £10, so really inexpensive. Another thing, don't wash your hair too often. I would really recommend going for as long as you can without washing your hair. I used to wash my hair every single day, and it stripped my hair of its natural oil so much that I ended up with split ends so badly. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to get my hair cut short in the first place, just because I felt it was in such bad condition. So my advice would be just to wash your hair when it needs washing, and between you and me, if you're just in the house doing nothing, there's nothing wrong with just letting your hair get a little bit greasy. It actually does your hair the world of good just to let the natural oils get into it, and it really just nourishes your hair. It's the best natural conditioner for your hair, just a bit of grease. I know that sounds disgusting, and I wouldn't recommend going around with greasy hair all the time or anything like that, but just, you know, on your days off. Another thing is to use a bamboo hairbrush. I like using these because the bristles are natural and they don't snag at your hair like plastic ones or metal ones can. And when you use a natural hairbrush, it actually pulls the oils down your hair while you're brushing it. So it really nourishes your hair at the same time, as well as protecting it from getting snagged. Also, if you're going to tie your hair up, I would definitely recommend using a bobble that is not going to snag your hair. Scrunchies are actually a great thing, and they're back in fashion at the moment, so scrunchies are amazing. But any type of bobble that just doesn't have that little metal bit on that can sometimes pull your hair, and definitely stay away from plastic hair ties. If there's one product I would recommend above all else, it's natural coconut oil. I use this one, and it is £2.49 from Sainsbury's. Now, I went into Holland & Barrett, and the same thing, 100% natural coconut oil, was being sold for £14 for a tub this size, and it was because it was being sold as a hair product. If you buy it in a supermarket where it is being sold for food purposes, then it is a hell of a lot cheaper. And I use this just on the ends of my hair every night, and I also use it as a hair mask. Once a week before I go to bed, I will absolutely drench my hair in this. I will put it all over my hair, tie it up, and definitely put a towel over my pillow. But in the morning, when I wash my hair, I'll just wash it all off, and my hair is so soft afterwards. I've actually written a blog post all about this oil, so I will link that down below for all the information on it. And I write about all the different things that this can be used for and why I love it so much. Okay, another tip is try not to use hair dye if you can, because obviously it does damage the ends of your hair. If you really feel the need to use a hair dye, using a darker one rather than bleaching your hair is obviously better for it. But generally, if you're trying to grow it, it probably will grow a little bit faster if you try and avoid harsh chemicals. And my last tip is just to remember that it does take time to grow your hair out. I know that is the last thing that you want to hear, but it just takes time. This took me 3 years to grow my hair. I'll show you again. To this length from here, which is amazing really, it is quite long. I mean, I want it longer, it's not the longest hair in the world, but it just takes a long time. But if you carry on doing all these things that I've told you about, they are accumulative, they do all work together, and you'll notice, if anything else, that your hair is so much shinier and so much more healthy. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I am still trying to grow my hair to the bottom of my back, so if you have any tips that I haven't mentioned, please share them with me, and I shall see you in my next video.